Conscious capitalism is the idea that business needs to be about more than just profit maximization, which has been the prevailing dogma, I would say, for the last at least 50 years. Shareholder value and profits have been defined as the sole purpose of business. We believe that businesses actually need to identify and then live out their own authentic purpose, separate from profits. Just like we individual human beings should have a purpose in our life, separate from the money we make, likewise every business should have a purpose that is aligned with making a difference in the world in a way that people care about, right? Whether it's society, the environment, people, whatever it might be, in whatever field. So there needs to be a higher purpose, and then we need to consciously create value not only for our investors and our customers, but for employees, for their families, for our suppliers, for communities, for the environment, and for the planet as a whole. So it's about all the stakeholders of the business need to win. Right? So there is no winning unless everybody wins, which is the theme of this conference as well. So it's higher purpose, stakeholder integration, so make sure that it's a win-win. What is good for one is good for all. And then leaders who care about people and purpose, not just about power and money. And cultures where people look forward to going to work. So those four things together are the principles or the pillars of conscious capitalism. Traditional capitalism is all about, as I said, profits for investors, and crony capitalism, which is kind of a distortion of that, which is really business and government coming together in order to help the private interests of the company using the power of the government. So that is actually not capitalism. We also refer to that as crapitalism, not capitalism. Well, markets don't redistribute wealth. I mean, that's what governments, in a way, try to do. I think markets are about creating value. And then the consciousness of the company is one where you actually try to create value in a way that includes all, right? Where you pay your employees. Some of the companies that we work with, their CEOs would say, we try to pay our people as much as possible, not as little as possible. Most companies say to maximize profit, you need to pay your people as little as possible. They said, no, let's create a business model where we're able to pay them as much as possible, right? And simultaneously produce great products for our customers and deliver good returns to our investors. So how do we break those trade-offs? One of the important things is that when you have a sense of higher purpose to the business and core values, and you make sure that those are infused throughout the organization, and you hire people when they come into the business who also share that purpose and share those values. And when you do that, then people become self-organizing, self-managing, and self-motivating, because they are intrinsically doing work that is meaningful to them beyond the paycheck. So you don't need to control them, manage them, regulate them, because they are there. They have intrinsic motivation, and they don't need these external factors to make sure that they're doing their job. And I think that's the ultimate goal that we should have, that we don't need to be telling people what to do or making sure that they're working. We need to have people who are self-motivated and inspired to do the work because they believe in what the company is trying to do. In the right kind of culture and the right kind of organization, those two are not in a conflict with each other. What is good for the individual is also good for the organization, and vice versa. That's how we need to be. That's how you break the trade-offs, right? So we create a pathway for people to grow and evolve while they're with the company. There's a phrase now that's being used called the deliberately developmental organizations, right? Where the focus is explicitly on enabling people to grow and evolve and become more capable and develop their skill set and their level of satisfaction with their work over time. So those two things need to go together, right? Our work has to be a source of meaning and fulfillment for us, right? And we can design work and design our work environments in a way that in fact is the case. So what we find is that companies that embrace conscious capitalism start to create a lot more value of multiple kinds. It's not just financial value. Because businesses create, but we also can destroy at least eight kinds of value: financial, intellectual capital, social capital, emotional well-being, spiritual well-being, ecological well-being, or physical well-being, and the impact on the culture that we operate within. And a conscious business has a positive impact in all those areas. Where a traditional business says we're just about maximizing our financial returns and everything else is a side effect, and that's often a negative. right? That has a negative impact on the environment, negative impact on our physical health, on our emotional health, on our spiritual well-being, etc. And so that's really the ultimate impact, is to create a lot more value of many kinds. So they were talking in the panel this morning about the pie, right? And the pie is often defined purely in financial terms, but actually there are many more components to the pie. It's not just, we don't live by money alone, right? So it's our other forms of well-being. So we need to define that pie and then keep enlarging it, right, by the kinds of actions that we undertake as leaders. And that's what will lead to ultimately fulfillment, good health, right, and tremendous business growth and results as well.